Ready.
All right, so I'm going to talk to you today about how to build a computer in 10 minutes. But today is only part one component. We're not going to have time to completely build a whole computer. So we're going to discuss about all the different parts in the computer. Why would you want to build a PC? Number one, for us geeks, it's fun. Number two is if you're into gaming, like to go out and buy a computer that is optimized for gaming can cost you $3,000 to $5,000. So you can buy the components, put it all together for about half that. And you know what's in there and you can brag to your friends about what you got. Also, if you're into video, if you're doing like heavy rendering, things like that, it takes a long time to go out and buy a computer that's optimized for video. Will cost the same, like $3,000 to $5,000. You can build it for about half that. And other high-intensity programs like CAD and things like that. Anything that requires a lot of computing power, you want to build it yourself if you don't want to just go out and buy it at the high cost. So what you don't want to do nowadays is build one because you want to save money. I mean, if you want a cheap computer, like $300, $400, $500, just go out and buy one. You know, HP, whatever, the bargain of the day, because they're basically using the cheapest components. And that's all you'd be able to do is buy the same cheap components, put it together, and they come with pre-installed software. That's the difference. You're going to save money on that software, as opposed to it used to be. It was you could build a computer the same half of what everybody else was selling for, but nowadays it doesn't really make sense. Okay, so let's talk about the main part. This is the parts you guys are going to be quizzed on later, so pay attention. We got the motherboard, and we will discuss these all in detail. The CPU, the memory, the drives, like the hard drive, CD-ROM, the optional cards, and power supply, and case, and of course all the other things like the monitor, keyboard, speakers, and mouse. Let's talk about the motherboard. That would be this thing here, without this CPU fan. Without the CPU fan. Thank you, Harrison. So the motherboard determines everything else, like what CPU you're going to have, what type of memory you're going to have. You know, a lot of times the video comes with the motherboard, so if you don't really care about gaming and stuff, you might choose one that has onboard video, they call it. So, and the sound also comes on here. But if you care about sound and video, you might, you know, not get that. You can always add it differently, it doesn't matter. But if you don't want to spend extra money on video, get one that comes with the video on the motherboard already, and the same with the sound. It is the mother of all parts. So when you go to buy the motherboard, like for example, on the box or whatever, it'll tell you what CPU you're going to use with it, you know, what type of memory, the speed, and all this stuff. That's going to determine. You wouldn't go buy your memory first. You would buy the mother first. Of course, that brings us to the CPU.